Guess who's back?
Michael Brockers, if you're tuning in.
Do not listen to anything we're about to say. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going into our Week 1 preview of the Dallas Cowboys matchup with the now Los Angeles Rams. I was about to say St. Louis, but before we get into that, please subscribe to the channel if you like Dallas Cowboys content, if you like NFL content. That is what we produce here. But let's get into it. The Dallas Cowboys will travel to Los Angeles and use SoFi Stadium of the Los Angeles Rams and face off on Sunday Night Football on NBC. Couldn't ask for a better matchup. It's going to be awesome. So let's get into it. What to expect in this game, how we see it playing out. Just basically, I think it's going to be a shootout. I think it's going to be high scoring. I think the Rams are going to come to play. Obviously, they're opening their new stadium. The Cowboys, they have all the offensive firepower you could ask for. That's going to be their calling card this year. And I believe they have a lot of questions on defense. But it's going to be a good game. RJ, what do you think?
It's going to be a good game. And we'll be signing that wall after the game.
Yeah, I think the Cowboys know about opening stadiums that it usually doesn't go exactly like you planned it out. Whenever you have a guy like Eli Manning coming in and just, destroying your party. The Rams, last year they greatly underperformed from what was expected of them, obviously coming off the Super Bowl season. This year they have a lot of returning pieces, but on the defensive side they lost a few guys. They do now have Jalen Ramsey that they acquired in the trade last year. They still have the best defensive player in the NFL in Aaron Donald. But Jared Goff, I don't know what to think of him as a quarterback. I don't know. He's got all the tools, but I don't know if he's got the processing that you want from a quarterback, or the decision making. Obviously, he has the talent, but without McVay in his ear, we've seen him struggle. But I don't know. And then on Dallas, on the other hand, Dak, I think Dak's a way superior quarterback. I think he's the best quarterback from that draft class. I think they have way better offensive pieces, much better offensive line. But their defense is severely lacking. I think on the back end, in the secondary, I think they're going to give up a lot of big chunk plays. I think Cooper Kupp's going to have a really good game in this one. Robert Woods, he's hard to stop, period. He's a guy that, he's very crafty in his route running.
And a lot of people won't know about my guy that was coming into the draft, the rookie, Van Jefferson. We want him a starting spot on their 11 personnel pack of their offense, and I think he's going to be a problem for whoever is covering the third receiver. Yeah. He was crisp coming out of college, smooth, very, very quarterback friendly, basically just like Cooper and Robert are. Mm-hmm. I'd go as far as to say he's probably better than they were coming out, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that Cowboys fans, we all do this. I think we all get enamored with, everybody's got high hopes at the beginning of the season, obviously. And then with the Rams, you're going to remember the freaking drumming that the Cowboys gave them last year. I believe the final score was 44-21, and you think, oh yeah, man, we beat the crap out of them last year. Why not just do it again? And obviously the homer in me is going to tend to agree with you, but I think this Cowboys team is a lot different right now than they were at that point, and I think this Rams team is a lot different point than they were at that point in the season too. And every team's going to have high hopes, and it's going to be ready to go that first week most of the time. So I think it's going to be a lot closer. The lights are going to be bright, but I just feel like the Cowboys are going to make one or two more plays than the Rams will. Dak will make one or two more plays than Jared Goff will, and that's going to propel him to the victory here. Score-wise, maybe like a 35-31, something like that.
41-31.
Shit, you got an even more higher score than me. I think expect a lot of points in this one.
We need a 40 burger for the first season.
I jokingly told RJ Dak's going to throw for 5 touchdowns in this game, and hey, it's within the realm of possibilities. But then again, with the Cowboys, we're Cowboys fans. We don't really know what to expect on the offense.
Guys, we are as informed Cowboy fans as anybody out there. We know. What I'm saying is, we know as far as
we hear all the news, we read all the articles, we follow all the reporters. Anything that you could absorb as a Cowboys fan that's not actually on the field, we absorb it. So
and the thing is, we still don't know that much.
Yeah.
So you really don't know that much. So it's but at the same time, we don't know that much. So you really don't know.
Yeah. Nobody really knows. I think the reporters that are there would tell you that they don't really know. I think in a perfect world, what I see is Dak attempting like 40 passes, Zeke having 15 rushing carries, Tony Pollard having like 12 rushing carries, both of them having probably equal reception total, both of them seeing the field at the same time a lot of 11 personnel with 3 receivers on the field, with CeeDee Lamb working in the slot, Blake Jarwin seeing the field a lot.
I would love to see some 2-back sets with the offset where Pollard parallel to the guard and Zeke being the fullback. I would love to see some sets like that. Notice I said Zeke at fullback, not at running back. I think I don't want this to happen, but I want a point in time in the game to come where this is where last year you would have saw them like just be stubborn or something, and
second and 2 and running the ball, getting stopped to 3rd and 1 and running the ball again. That's what I'm kind of
like. And there needs to come to a point in time in the game where we say, this is what we've been clamoring about and hearing about and speaking it in, everything you've talked about in the offseason and showing it on the field. I think, Donald and Ramsey, they're very, 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 probably you can argue they're both the best at their position for sure, Donald, but collectively as a defense, I honestly think Dallas is a little better slightly, just because, even though they don't have those superstars, because collectively on the defensive line, I think they're better overall, even if when you have that one single guy like Donald. The Rams linebacking core is trash. Taylor Rapp and Ramsey, really their only good guys in the secondary. And I think collectively Dallas's strengths are stronger than
the superstars that they have on
yes,
defense.
Yes, than the superstars that the Rams have on defense. And when the Rams' weaknesses are weaker than Dallas's weakness, because what did they do in the offseason to really address the offensive line?
Nothing.
And they had one of the worst offensive lines last year.
Run blocking wise, they had one of the worst. They actually gave up pretty low sacks. I believe it was in the 20s, but run grade wise, it was pretty terrible. And it seems like they're going to be moving forward with a committee, which can work for most teams, and most Super Bowl teams have a committee at running back. But I think it's really just like the Cowboys not knowing what to expect. For the Rams' sake, I hope for their sake they have something completely new, because that was really the thing that we saw whenever they made it. Whenever they played the Cowboys in the playoffs, they ran the same formation and they kicked the Cowboys' ass, just running, at most 5 plays out of the same formation. The Cowboys couldn't stop it. Go to the matchup in this past season, the Cowboys beat the crap out of them because they came prepared and knew what they were going to do. Are the Rams going to be innovative enough to change and have something new to put forward for the defense? I don't know.
I know McVay's letting kind of go of the reins this year.
Okay,
he hired his OC, so
maybe that's the influx of new talent, kind of a la Kellen Moore coming in last year and being the guy for them.
But at the same time, your quarterback is still your quarterback.
Yeah.
And I don't think he's the better. Obviously, he's not the better.
I think the nightmare for us is that Zeke comes out and he has 30 carries again, and it's just like the same thing all over again. I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that's
going to happen, but yes, that would be the absolute.
And then Tony Pollard doesn't see the field, and that would be just like, because.
And that put you right on. That'd have you on every sports media outlet in Dallas-Fort Worth answering a lot of questions the next morning on the radio station.
What's different? Why do we, all this stuff about, and just like you read into things, all the offensive talent they have. Oh, we're just gonna go out in 11. We have CeeDee Lamb in the slot, Gallup on the outside, Cooper, all these great receiving assets. But at the same time, we've also heard Mike McCarthy said Zeke's gonna be a focal point of this offense. Zeke's gonna be the motor. Zeke's this, Zeke that. So yes, it's a nightmare, but I don't know, man. I hope it's different. I hope there's a lot more passing. I hope on 4th and shorts they're going for it. I hope in 3rd and shorts they're passing the ball rather than just plowing into Connor Williams' side, or even, Lyle Collins isn't going to be there this week, plowing into his side. Type things.
A lot of the talk right now is with a guy like our right tackle Cam Irving starting this weekend, is like, we won't have to worry about like what happened with Chaz Green and whatever. We're going to help him and stuff like that. How do we really know that?
We don't.
We're expecting this coaching staff to be more competent with their job and how they go about things and adapting throughout the game and before, leading up to the week and preparing for the week.
I think those were one of the two things that really were, the knocks against Jason Garrett is, one, we're going to do what we're going to do. We're going to go out and beat our best versus your best. We're going to beat you doing what you know what we're going to do, but we're going to beat you doing it type thing, which is...
And that's what got him fired.
His second thing was, whenever you lost a player, it didn't matter if it was a super critical player or not, they were not good at adapting to, not having personnel out there. Just like Chaz Green going out and getting killed, going into the 2018 season, trusting our guys and having
believing their guys too much and saying, well, he's got to step up. When in reality, you're not putting your team and players in the best position to win.
They would stick to the basic form of next man up. They just next man up. The expectations are, it should be next man up, and what can you do best for me?
What can I do for you to make you a better player in this scenario?
So there's a lot of question marks, which is why it's tough.
I think basically we have PTSD from the past 10 years.
I think this is going to be a good team, but until I see it, I won't believe it type thing. I believe in certain players. I've always believed in players. Players I believe in. DeMarcus Ware, Jason Witten, Des Bryant, Dak. Now, there's always been players I believe in, but the team, the coaching, everything has always fallen apart in total. Mm-hmm. So until we see it, to believe it, but I think they'll come out and they win this one a high-scoring fashion. RJ, you agree with that?
Yeah, 41-31, 41-33, something. I think at the end of the day, getting pressure in Goff's face and really using hopefully a NASCAR package on the defensive side of the ball with all of our playmakers on defense, then I would love. I think a big turning point in this game would hopefully be Diggs having a good game.
Yes. And Xavier Woods plays.
Yes.
It looks like if they don't have Xavier Woods playing.
But the main thing is Diggs has absolutely just on the depth chart. He's starting right now, and if you hear the word out of camp, he absolutely deserved that.
Once he started getting opportunities with injuries, he started playing good,
and he deserves that. And the way he's able to play the ball and track the ball and really just be disruptive in the passing game and really just be a magnet. Hopefully he can have a big game on the defensive side of the ball, and even better if the pass rush in front of him allows him to do that.
Yeah, that would be another nightmare. DeMarcus Lawrence not having a sack and them not getting pressure because of quick passes. That would be another nightmare for me. I expect multiple sacks in this game, hopefully. But I think that pretty much wraps up our preview for the Week 1 of the Dallas Cowboys matchup against the Rams. If you like this video, if you like Dallas Cowboys content, NFL content, please like the channel, subscribe, and stay tuned for our next video. We appreciate you watching, and we will see you next time.
Yo, I ain't here for the money.